Give me a high five for Big Al's Top 5. Stay tuned to find out what I mean. What about you whisky lovers, and welcome to another episode of Whiskey Straight with me, Big Al. Wee bit different this time. It's not a review, but it is my thoughts on a challenge that's going around the internet at the moment. Well, specifically on YouTube. Apparently it was started by Matt at ADHD Whiskey there over in America. Great channel, great content, and a quirky kind of guy. It basically revolves around if you were suddenly kicked out or you had up sticks and go somewhere else and you could only take 5 whiskies, which whiskies would you take and why? Now, I was nominated for this challenge by Matt, the Whiskey Nerd. Fantastic channel. He lives down south in the Republic of Ireland. He's just recently passed the 1k subs mark, and he does great content, great whiskey reviews, and also a masterclass on what we all like to have every now and again, cocktails. And he's also joined more recently by his lovely wife, Rose, the whiskey noob. Great couple, great content. I'll put their details down below so you can go check them out, and please give them a sub. You'll not be disappointed. Anyway, what's this challenge all about? Well, as I said, it's about 5 whiskies that you would pick. And if these were the only ones you could have for the rest of your life, what would they be? Now, there's no sort of boundaries or rules set for this, so I thought I would come at this from the perspective of 5 whiskies that are affordable, easily available, and it crosses the range. Not my top 5 favourite whiskies, but 5 that would be regular go-tos. So I want to pick an Irish, a Scotch, a Bourbon, a Peated whiskey, and a Cask Strength. Now, if you know me and you've been following me on social media and YouTube for a while, I'm going to start off with a Bourbon, and it's a no-brainer. It's the Wild Turkey 101, the Big Bird, that beautiful high-proof whiskey that actually got me into this enthusiasm for whiskey. It's big, it's bold, it's beautiful.
Just like me.
Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. You can pick the 2 and leave the other one out. I suspect I know which one you'll leave out. But anyway, it's a bargain. It's quite a lot on offer over here, and it always hits the spot, and probably the best bang for buck bourbon that you can get. So, no surprise there. Right now, we'll go on to Scotch. And I was really thinking about this one, and I was almost there going to pick the Bunnahabhain 12, because it's a really top class 12-year-old whiskey. It always scores high and is loved across the board. But it's not that relatively readily available where I am, and so I've opted for the Glenmorangie G10, or the Glenmorangie G10, depending on how you want to pronounce it. And what brought this back into my head was a recent review by Jim the Whiskey Novice. I'll pop a link to him down below as well. Top bloke, great reviews, very knowledgeable.
And an all-round decent bugger.
Do you know what? It's one of the Scotch classics. It costs you in the mid-£30 range, but it's quite often an offer as well. And I've picked up a couple lately, and it's something that I haven't had for a while, and it's full of fruity, lovely, quite in-depth flavours for a 40% whiskey, and it's very Moorish, and definitely one of the classics. So check it out. Now, on to the Irish whiskey. A few years back, you wouldn't have really a whole big pile of choice here because of the way things were, but now there's an awesome amount of choice because of the boom in Irish whiskey, and that's great to see. And when I sat back and thought of it, you know what? What's the quintessential Irish whiskey style? It's single pot still, and nothing portrays that better in a reasonably priced range than Powers John's Lane. Costs you around 50 quid. It's 12-year-old, 46% ABV, non-chill filtered. It is just beautiful, beautiful whiskey. Now for the Peated. And I can't really go anywhere else for the Peated but Scotland. And you're probably thinking, aye, Big Al, you're just going to Islay. No, I'm not. I'm going to Skye and Talisker, and for me it's the Talisker 10. First time I got this quite a few years ago, the wife bought it for me, and it didn't really hit the spot, and then it started to grow on me. And now everything I've had of Talisker since, it's just got that presence, it's got that thing with it, the brininess, the saltiness, the sea spray, that coastal element. And as you know, I live beside the coast, and it just resonates with me in a way, and I really love that Talisker profile. So it'll be the Talisker 10 for the peat. Now, Cask Strength. There's quite a few Cask Strengths out there that stand the test of time, but a lot of them are really batch releases. And in some way you can say the same about the one I'm going to pick here. But what I'm thinking about here is the one that started it all off, and that's the Glenfarclas 105. Ball is 60% ABV. It does pack a punch. This is basically the first cask strength stroke barrel proof whiskey that started it all off. And the 105 relates to the old British Imperial system. I'll not go into it because I did get my head around it once, but I'm shite at maths and trying to figure out all these things, and I don't want my head to break when I'm doing a whiskey video. But it's widely available. It's been on the go for years, and what I like about Glenfarclas too, it's one of the few remaining family-owned distilleries. Do things the old style, relatively small, but this is widely available and readily affordable. So some would say maybe not as good as it used to be in the old days, but it always hits the spot for me. Now guys, it's over to you. What 5 whiskies would you pick? Now it doesn't have to be in the same format as me. That can be any 5 whiskies you want. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts on what I've picked, and what remains now is to pick another lucky soul to follow on with this challenge, and that is over to you, Toby, at Whiskey Shared. Let me know what your thoughts are, bud. I'll be really interested to see what 5 you pick. And as I say, Toby's another great guy. He's over there in England doing great stuff, and he promotes English whiskey quite a lot as well, and he's been on a wee bit of a roll recently with the Swedish stuff. So as usual, the link will be down in the description below. Check him out, give him a follow, and you'll not be disappointed, just like the other guys. So there you go, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video. As I say, let me know your thoughts, and before I go, I'll have a wee sip of that big beautiful bird that I mentioned at the start. The Wild Turkey 101. And as I always say, look after yourselves, look after each other, and keep on drinking your whiskey the way you like it. Sláinte. So good.